All right, it's the Illini Basketball Podcast, episode number 105 on Friday, March 4th. This is the month of March. Illinois last night winning over Penn State, and winning
easily
is a nice way to put it. A factual way, though, of course. 60-55. But here's the thing: I think we all need to take a step back about all the close games Penn State has played. Shouldn't be that surprising. They just lost in Nebraska before this. I mean, they were going to come out and play, and if they would have made some shots, they definitely would have won this game. So, but Illinois gets the win, and take it because now Illinois guaranteed top 3 seed in the Big Ten tournament, I believe.
Yep.
14-5 on the year. You never want to take a 14-5 Big Ten record for granted, given how I don't know if I would say deep the league is, but how good it is overall. I mean, there's 2 or 3 teams, maybe 4 this year where you're like, okay, those teams stink. But other than that, it's competitive. I don't think Penn State is a team that stinks. I don't think they're one of those teams. I think that's more of like Nebraska, Minnesota, those teams.
Yeah.
It wins a win, you know.
And I mean, they had guys that played and they had a game plan was the big thing. Shrewsbury came in and he said, "Hey, DeMonte Williams, you're going to beat me. I'm not going to let anybody else beat me, but you can go ahead and beat me." And for that reason, because they did win, I think DeMonte Williams is the player of the game.
Yeah, I didn't write mine down, but I would agree with that because I think he started to actually take the shots, and he had to in this game because they left him open. But I don't think that Steve's point here is – I thought Trent's defense last night was unbelievable.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad point to have Trent as the guy, but we pick him a lot.
Yeah.
And DeMonte showing up.
I don't think DeMonte's gotten one yet. So
and last year he definitely did get a couple. So
yeah. So I mean that basically was their plan. They had 12 guys playing inside basically, and then they closed out on Plummer. They closed out on Frazier. They really didn't close out on Grandison that much. I felt like Grandison kind of overlooked some shots, but DeMonte 4 for 10 from 3, 40%. I think that's pretty good. 10 threes has to be the most he's ever taken in a game, if I had to guess. Perfect from the line. 14 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. And he basically had to do this. And I'm happy that he got some shots up. I think DeMonte's a lot better when he gets his feet set and, takes shots with confidence. The ones that he did make, it was when he was set and he was ready to go, no hesitation. So Shrewsbury said after the game, quote, "He makes big shots. He makes big plays. He's an elite role player. I'm like daring him to shoot the ball at home. People make shots at home, but you got to take something away." So they tried to take Kofi away. They tried to take Plummer away, which I think they were pretty successful in doing.
I thought their game plan was pretty good. I think that played a big role in the ability to keep it close, and I think that's what they do. The thing with Penn State is they have a very defined identity. Like when you play Penn State, you know exactly what they're going to do. They're going to slow the game down. They're going to play defense. They're going to get good looks, and they're going to play they just play a certain way. And that's why I think when they get more talent there in the next couple of seasons, I think they'll be a pretty good program again. And I say again, I mean, I'm more so referencing what happened towards the end of what Pat Chambers was doing there a couple of years ago when they were really good. They just got to get that one guy that kind of changes the program, and Illinois has gotten that. And I think Shrewsbury is going to be a pretty good coach there. I don't know if he's going to turn around Penn State to the degree of what Underwood's done here or what Peichel's done at Rutgers, but I think they have something there.
Yeah, I agree. He did what they had to do to give them a chance to win.
Yeah.
And so shout out to him for the game plan. Kofi, 1 shot in the first half is brutal. Ended up 4 of 7. He was 3 of 4 from the free throw line, which was better. I think he had 2 free throws at the beginning of the game and then 2 free throws maybe midway through the second half. But 11 points, 6 rebounds, a steal, a block, and he played 34 minutes. Brad leaned heavily on the starters in the second half, so that made Kofi play more. And you didn't see much of Hawkins and Curbelo and Payne and Goody in the second half. Hawkins really only got time because Grandison got hurt, it seemed like, which I understand. I think it's a weird choice, especially when Illinois was just getting dominated on the boards in the second half. Hawkins is one of those guys that seeks out the ball and gets rebounds for you. I don't know what the number ended up, but I think at one point it was like 19-4 rebounds in the second half or something like that. And I saw somebody posted that Illinois went 9 straight minutes without a defensive rebound. That one possession, I texted you. I said that it seemed like Penn State had the ball for 5 minutes straight just because they kept getting rebounds, or Illinois would knock the ball out of bounds trying to grab it or whatever. But back to Kofi, I just gotta say that I'm sick and tired of Illinois fans. You want to call yourself fans? I don't know what you are. That sit here and say that Kofi is absolutely out of his mind if he thinks that he can go to the pro level. That he's good enough to do it because of games like this. Like, it's not his fault that he only touched the ball 7 times. Like that was because of defense and Illinois' lack of being able to get the ball inside. And for people to go at Kofi is super annoying to me. It's 4-7. He took 7 shots. So I don't know what you want him to do. The guy's, if he doesn't get the ball, he can't make it. He did have one possession that looked really bad, but 1 or 2, whatever. Hawkins was asked after the game about Kofi, and he said, quote, "Well, the men that were guarding us were guarding Kofi." So he basically said nobody was guarding us, and Hawkins was a big part of that because when DeMonte wasn't in, whoever Hawkins was guarding, or whoever was supposed to be guarding Hawkins, just fell down on him. So, and Hawkins was brutal behind the arc.
Yeah, if he would have been a little bit better, then you think might have changed some things.
People
but
closed out.
Anybody, it's just the people who say this are really looking at the box score, not actually watching the game. They don't know anything about the sport itself. They don't know about the fact that Penn State's one thing that they were doing was just collapsing on Kofi, every single guy. Yeah. And, it's not his fault he's not getting the ball there. I do think that his defense was just brutal, but, that's happened a lot.
Yeah, that's just Kofi. I texted you during the game. I thought it was weird that his defense was better guarding Pickett out top than it is guarding down low when like Pickett will come inside, or he went to double that one time, and Pickett was out kind of past the block, and Kofi kind of just ran to the baseline. Like he wasn't even really helping. He ended up leaving Harar wide open, and then came over and got the block.
Well,
but I don't know what, he just doesn't put his hands up. I've talked about this forever. He doesn't put his hands up, and he seems so much slower under the hoop than he did when he was out guarding Pickett on the point, which is weird.
He had to majorly focus on getting out on guys in the last 2 games with Dickinson and Young. So I think that maybe changed the way that he defended, because he had to actually worry about guys shooting from the outside in those games. And if he's switching on to guys, he's doing that more. But Hara had about 400 looks if he really wanted them, but he's just not a guy who's going to do that.
He doesn't even look to shoot when he gets it out.
No, I don't think you can really say much about. I don't think you can really judge Kofi's performance from this game. I think the fact that he had 11 points is and 4 field goals is actually surprising, considering he had like 0 space inside.
Right. So. And he gets hammered every time he gets the ball. But overall, Illinois was much better from the line too. 15 of 17 from the free throw line. Kofi and Frazier were the only 2 that missed a free throw. So that's good. Hopefully it stays that way. I guess they're when they're not shooting well from the floor, they apparently are good from the free throw line. But Plummer, I thought that Penn State handled him pretty well. He only got 4 threes off, made one of them. 2 free throws, 5 points, 1 assist. Big number, though. He tied Kofi, which, I mean, Illinois didn't rebound worth a crap, but he tied Kofi for most rebounds on the team with 6. So
I don't think that's good.
What do you mean that's not good? It's the smallest guy out there.
Yeah, if he's getting 6 rebounds and you got to rely on him doing anything, come on.
That's true.
Terrible rebounding. And I can't wait to talk about the first Iowa game where they had their best rebounding game of the year. And now we're stuck on they can't rebound. And it's only been 3 months and there's been a lot of issues with it. But do you think when Kofi is playing or scoring on offense, he is better defensively? Because I think the Michigan game is like an example of that. Like he's scoring, but his defense was better too. Like if he's if he's using all of his energy and struggling to score on offense, his defense lacks even more.
Right. Yeah, I think you're right. I think he's very mentally, I think he's very heady. Like if he's playing well, he has more effort on both ends. And I think, when he was brought out on Pickett, I think that he had more energy there because he busted his ass down the court to try to get the ball on the offensive end. And then it was like all of a sudden he just decided that he was going to play harder instead of just playing hard all the time. So,
well, whatever. What can you do? I mean, he's an enormous human.
Exactly. I mean, 34 minutes for a guy that weighs 290. That's
against a team where he should be able to get some rest, but couldn't.
Yeah, exactly.
But it is the Big Ten. I don't know. I mean, here's the thing with Plummer. Before we get to other guys, is they were attacking Plummer in the first half early, and it was working. So defense still an issue. And
I mean, the only 3 he made was super contested. Yeah. So. Grandison, I thought he was better than the last couple games. He was 3 of 7, 2 of 4 from 3. He had 8 points, 5 rebounds, an assist, a steal, and a block. I sent you that picture today. I don't know why he tried forcing that ball into Kofi when nobody was on him. I don't know if his confidence was lacking. I mean, it's not like he was shooting the ball bad. He made a big one when Illinois needed one later in the second half. So I just hope he keeps shooting the ball because he was literally wide open. Kofi had 4 guys on him, and that was his only turnover for the game. So Grandison he needs to keep his confidence up. I thought Trent had a good game. Like Steve said, 3 of 6, 2 of 5 from 3. He made 2 free throws, 10 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and a block. I thought he was going to hit another dagger 3, but he didn't make it. But 34 minutes for him too. So him and Kofi both played 34. And I think that he sat maybe 5 minutes in the first half because he had 2 fouls.
Sounds right.
Because Brad, who says that he trusts these guys, still sits them. And
clearly doesn't trust them. I think.
Of course, Trent ends up with 3 fouls total. So I feel like Trent's kind of been getting some touchy fouls early in the game.
They don't want him to get physical. It's so stupid. Yeah. I mean, if he gets I think this is one of Trent's top 5 defensive performances and efforts of the season.
Really?
Yeah, I think that he was all over the place, and I think that he kind of helped keep them in the game in spots. I think he was.
I thought he
usually does, which is going right around screens.
Yeah, I thought he was good defensively. I guess the problem is that he had to guard Pickett, who could just back him down all game.
Yeah, and the other thing is I'm not really looking at it from the standpoint of locking somebody down like he's done with Bohannon a million times. I'm looking at the fact that the effort was 100% there. Like it's hard. It's got to he's playing a ton of minutes. He's dealt with multiple injuries this season, including the shoulder thing and the knee thing, and he's still the hardest working player on the team. Like, I think there's a lot to be said about that. I think that's why everybody here loves him. And I thought his defense overall, effort-wise and making plays and going around screens, I thought was – and he always has a huge steal in every game. So I thought it – I mean, I don't know. I noticed it a lot more than normal, I would say.
Yeah. No, I got you. The bench, Hawkins, please stop shooting threes.
It's hard to blame him, though. I mean, they were leaving him open, and everyone's collapsing on Kofi. Where else are you going to go with the ball?
I don't know.
I don't know why I'm defending him. It was very annoying, but I think that a couple of them I'm not going to blame him for. But
yeah,
I don't know.
I just I don't know what he's at right now. He's got to be under 20%, doesn't he?
I would say that's
he is at 25%.
Okay, yeah, 13 for 51.
Yeah,
he was 3 for 13 last year, 23%. So
yeah,
better,
he's doing better. But I thought he was good. I mean, he made 4 clutch free throws down the stretch. Although I don't like the attitude, hey, Plummer, please shoot these for me. Like, just go up, step up and make them, man. And he did. Like, I don't know why he was so nervous to shoot.
I don't really think that. I don't really think that was a foul. Whenever he got fouled,
or when he got fouled,
when Hawkins got fouled, I didn't think that was a foul. I didn't think that's what they were calling either. Because it was kind of late too. Yeah, and these refs,
maybe you just didn't hear the whistle. When
I can't wait to get to that review at the end because I have a couple things to say about that. That was bad.
But like I said, I feel like he is one of the better rebounders when he's in the game. He only had 2 rebounds, but they were both offensive. Once again, he had one of the biggest offensive rebounds of the night on the missed free throw from Trent. Ended up getting fouled and kind of put the game away with the 2 free throws he made there. He had an assist. And I guess I don't understand why Brad sat him. I think I don't know if it's I don't think it's because of his defense, which I'm pretty sure that he's the one that was supposed to be guarding who was in the corner, Miles Dredd, who had the wide open 3. I'm pretty sure that Coleman Hawkins was supposed to be on him and left him wide open in the corner late in the game, but when Illinois couldn't get a rebound for 9 minutes or whatever it was, I don't know why he wasn't in the game, at least to try to get a little spark, to get some rebounds, to do something for him. So Grandison messed up his arm. They said he sprained it. So I guess he'll be okay. Yeah. So that's when Hawkins got in, and Hawkins made a huge impact in the last 3 minutes or whatever he was in. So 2 minutes. I don't even remember how long it was. But Hawkins said after the game, and I hate this quote with all my heart.
Just taking complete shots at Penn State.
I hate this quote with all my heart. He said, quote, "I think when we play Iowa and opponents down the stretch, we're going to come out with a lot more fuel to our fire." End quote.
Not ideal.
I hate it. Like if you can't get up for Penn State when I understand Wisconsin has to lose, but at home with a chance to maybe tie for the Big Ten regular season if some miracle happens, and you're telling me you couldn't get up for the game. And Brad said that he said that they came out flat and that there wasn't any energy in shoot around. So they were not very he sat so he wouldn't shoot threes. Yeah. I mean, I assume that's what it was.
They were daring him to do it too. They didn't care.
No.
I think it's kind of predictable. They didn't come out with a lot of energy in this game. I feel like we probably should have seen that coming.
Yeah.
But I think that they will definitely come out with it way more energy on Sunday, I think, as they usually do for these games against Iowa. So,
yeah. I hope they do, because Iowa will beat them by 30 if they don't, the way Iowa's playing right now. So, Curbelo, meh game for him. 1 of 5, 2 of 2 from the line. Shot the free throws with confidence, 4 points, 1 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 turnovers of the team's 8. I think his first time down the court, he traveled. So he played 17 minutes. I mean, he wasn't awful. He wasn't great. He had a great one-handed alley-oop to Kofi for a big slam. But I think he just needs to keep playing, right? He just needs to keep getting the feel back. Things will happen. I don't know. Your boy Payne had maybe one of the prettiest moves I've seen all year from the
Wasn't a bad game
Illini.
for him. Wasn't a bad game.
Yeah, all 3 minutes of it weren't bad. So
Yeah, not
but
bad.
great spin move. I don't think anybody in Illini Nation expected to see that out of him. 2 rebounds, no fouls, 0 fouls.
They weren't really calling anything on Illinois. So
okay,
it's not
all
surprising. I mean, Illinois only had 9 fouls. Penn State shot 3 free throws. So
yeah, true.
Let them play to some degree. I mean, if you're a Penn State fan, you might think that they got screwed a little bit, but Illinois got 6 free throws late, so it was 11 to 3 until the end, and whatever.
Sure. Yeah. And then Goody was the other guy off the bench. He played 7 minutes. He was 0 for 2. He had a really bad turnaround jumper off.
The problem with the turnaround jumper is he gets the offensive rebound and then just turns around and sees he has some space and just pops it. I don't like that at all. I think he reset that, but whatever. I think it's time to maybe give Podge some time to see what he's got. He showed that he can do
a lot of people are
things.
calling for it, but I don't
let him play a little bit. I don't know why he's not playing at all. That's a little ridiculous to me.
I agree.
Like, I don't. If Hawkins is playing this much, I don't really think you need to play Payne at all, to be honest.
Yeah.
Except for the 40 seconds before the under 16.
How about that lineup that Brad had in?
Bad.
What was it? Curbelo, DeMonte, Hawkins, Goody, and Payne.
I don't know if it was that bad, but it was close.
I think it was that bad. I
thought they had either Plummer or Frazier in that lineup.
I don't think they had a scorer.
I swear Plummer was in during that. But it was bad either way. And you knew it was going to be bad. Right when you see that lineup and you're like, oh boy. And it 100% lived up to the oh boy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It was not good. So, other than that, I mean, Illinois shot awful.
Penn State had 5 more field goals.
I didn't think that they had I didn't think they had a defensive answer for Pickett, although you guys think that Trent played his best defensive game of the night or of the year. So I
said it was in the top 5
about that. Brad said after the game, quote, that was about what I thought it would be. They had played the heck out of everyone all year, 25 seconds off the shot clock every time. Tough matchup when they can post up everybody. So,
well, I told you they hadn't lost by double digits in the Big Ten since January at Indiana. So,
yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's a win. Basically, Illinois had to play Penn State's game. The refs tried to let Illinois or Penn State back in it with a terrible call. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I'm actually when it's happening, you're all over the refs and blaming them. But I think there was good points made on Twitter, like, why are they looking at like an 8-inch screen?
So even if they're looking at an 8-inch screen, this is what I said to my wife while we were watching the game. So I got a piece of paper or something.
You should still be able to see it, but that's still ridiculous.
So say this is the 8-inch screen, right? They look at it from here. Like, how do you not just?
Yeah.
Why don't you just move in and look at it? Like they're looking at it from 4 feet away.
This is also power conference college basketball. How the hell do you not have somebody to call who's in like a studio room with a bunch of screens looking at all the games, and they can, like what other sports do, let's call New York, like in baseball or football, and see what, like, how do we not have that?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And also with all the monitors that are all set up everywhere, how do they not have a bigger monitor for them?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that was a brutal call. And you could tell the guy was like shaking his head. Like the ball never changed. Like, isn't that the big thing they look for, is that the ball changes directions? Or
isn't there a screen above them that they can look at? Doesn't that exist? I mean,
yeah, it's like 1,000 feet long.
They're committed to, we got to look at our little 8-inch screen here.
Yeah. You were right. It was Curbelo, Plummer, Williams, Goody, and Hawkins.
And it was bad.
It was real
because
bad.
With that lineup, you just guard Plummer, and there you go. You're good to go. And so wasn't good. But what do you expect? I mean, Penn State had 5 more field goals. I think free throws were the difference here.
Yeah. I mean, Illinois, you text me, Illinois had 9 twos.
And 9 threes.
9 twos, 9 threes. So,
yep. I mean, I was trying to find out if they had another game all season with less than 10 twos. I don't think they have.
I mean, if they shoot free throws like they did the game before, they lose this game. So
they had 24 twos against Michigan, by the way. So you talk about falling apart. They had 18 against Ohio State. They had 19 against Michigan State. They had 16 against Rutgers in the game that they got smoked. So it's kind of a weird, like 15 against Northwestern. They had 16 against Purdue. It's just a weird one-off type game. They had 25 of them against Wisconsin. They shot 62% from 2-point range against Wisconsin. So, yeah, I don't think they're ever going to have a game with less than 10 twos again. I wouldn't think. That would be pretty bad. They even had 12 in the Maryland no-show. So it was pretty bad. I mean, considering the fact they were able to get out of there with a win, I really don't care who it's against. I think that's a good thing.
All that matters, right?
And this is not a Penn State team that lays over. So that's, I mean, you know. And by the way, Illinois, 20 for 24 from 2 against St. Francis, 83%. So that was a team that didn't show up. The closest they were to less than 10 twos was Arizona. They had 11. So that was the closest they were. And they almost won that game too. So,
and Brad told them afterwards in the locker room that these are the games that, you know, get you ready in March. These are March games. This is what you need. So, you know.
Can you guess what the season high in twos was for Illinois? It was very early in the season.
34.
A little less. Less than 30.
28.
27. Against a team that is a couple wins away from the NCAA tournament right now in the Sun Belt, Arkansas State, with their douchebag coach.
Oh.
So, yeah. Steve says, can Nebraska do it? Answer is sadly no. I don't see any chance. But I think that it's a good weekend to get on the Nebraska bandwagon. We're all in. We're Nebraska guys for the next 24. Is that a Saturday or a Sunday game?
Who doesn't love Nebraska ball? Sunday. They play Sunday too, I believe.
I feel like the Big Ten does have like the Sunday presence at the end of the season. They do have that locked up, but all right.
I wonder what time they play.
Sunday, Illinois season finale, 1 p.m. is Nebraska, Wisconsin. So you'll have really 3 hours to figure out if Illinois is going to be like, well, we can't win a share of the title, so do we lay over or what? But I mean, they got to if they win, they'll get the 2, right?
Yeah.
Because Purdue has 6 losses in the Big Ten.
Yeah, which I mean the 2 and the 3
it
are on
matter.
the same side of the bracket. They both play Friday night. I don't think.
What do you think the matchups would be though? I feel like could be a discrepancy with that.
I think if they're the 3, they would play the winner of Rutgers and whoever wins the playing game. If they're 2, they play Michigan State.
If you're 2, the playing game is. If you're a 2, you play 7 or 10, I think, or the winner of 7 versus 10. And if you're a 3, you play the winner of 11 versus 14 versus 6.
Yeah. So 6 and 7.
Who's going to be 11 versus 14?
1,
I wonder.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right now, Rutgers is 6 and Michigan State 7. So
you'd have Penn State versus Nebraska would be 11 versus 14. And Penn State wins that game because that's a revenge game, I think. And unless Maryland and Penn State have a tiebreaker situation, which I'm not paying attention to. So it's either one of those 2, and then you'd have I don't know, whatever. It doesn't really matter. I'm not worried about any of those teams on a neutral floor, but I digress. Illinois, Iowa, season finale for is this the second season out of 3 that the season finale has been State Farm Center against Iowa? I think so.
Yeah. COVID season.
Yeah, last year they ended at Ohio State, and this year the year before that they ended home against Iowa, and they won by 2. That was the block to end it.
Yep.
And then everything died after that. Illinois 21-8, 14-5 in the Big Ten, 20th overall in the country. Iowa ranked 24, 22-8, 12-7 in the Big Ten. This is 6:30 p.m. Central Standard, FS1. So you know both teams are good when it's not on the Big Ten Network. Iowa's won 5 straight. They beat Ohio State by 13. They beat Michigan State by 26. They beat Nebraska by 10. They beat Northwestern by 21 and Michigan by 11 last night. And you know it's weird because Nebraska played them the closest out of those 5. So, I mean, it's a team that's playing hot. They've gotten better since the first matchup between the two, which was on December 6th. Illinois won that 87-83. Kofi had 17 points and 18 rebounds. Trent had 18 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists. Plummer and Grandison both had 21 points. Illinois shot 11 for 25 from 3. Illinois 1.21 points per possession. 18 turnovers, though, for Illinois. Iowa only had 4. Illinois out-rebounded them 52-23 in that game. Wow. So I think Illinois' rebounding has gotten significantly worse since that game.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Not ideal. But Keegan Murray had 19 points, 7 for 15 from the field. I think most of those points were pretty late in the game. He wasn't really doing very much. He was kind of just going to the basket looking to get fouled, I think, for a lot of that.
Yeah.
And 2 rebounds. And then Bohannon only had 4 points. So he did his typical, boo-booey, Marcus Carr, no-show against Illinois that they all do.
Can't handle Trent Frazier.
So. Yeah, well.
He was making everything early last night in that Michigan game.
I think Iowa's due for a letdown here.
Yeah, I hope so. They're probably the hottest team in the Big Ten right now. You said they won their last 5. They won 8 of their last 9 after losing to Purdue and Penn State. Their only other loss was to Michigan, which was at home, which is weird. So I don't know. They're playing really well. They're scoring at a high rate. They kind of let Michigan get back in that game last night when they probably shouldn't have. I think the biggest thing is not Keegan Murray, his brother. He's starting to come on, and they just seem to be scoring at a high rate. I mean, they're averaging 84 points a game basically, and I think that what's that one kid's name? Perkins. I think Perkins might be a problem for Illinois just because he's got that bigger body. So I don't know. Who do you have Plummer guard in this game?
I mean, I think Iowa this year has more like guys, they have more guys. Like last year it was Bohannon, Wieskamp, sometimes Frederick when he was healthy, and Garza. Yeah. Now you have Keegan Murray, you have Chris Murray, you have, I think, both McCaffreys have shot better. Yeah. Toussaint and Ulis off the bench as well, plus Tony Perkins. Yeah. It's a little bit more dynamic, a little harder to guard, but I also think that they just don't play defense. So I think you can catch them here, and I think Illinois always catches them in these spots. Like Iowa going into the first matchup was coming off of a loss to Purdue, but they had 7 wins in a row before that. And it wasn't against anybody, but they were still 7-1 in that game. And then you look in years past, they had, won 5 in a row before they played Illinois last year in a loss. So I think that you can catch them in these spots. I think they've been shooting really well lately. Yeah, they have. I think you can catch them here.
Yeah, the only thing that's scary with Chris Murray coming on, how much length they can put into the game. Besides, of course, guarding Kofi, they just have a lot of length with the 2 Murray brothers, the bigger McCaffrey. So that's what worries me as far as defensively. Offensively, it doesn't worry me that much because Iowa isn't known for their defense very much. So
the big thing with them is they don't turn the ball over very much, and they get shots. Like they get a lot of looks. And the thing is, it's been quite a run on offense for Fran. They had the number 5 offense in the COVID year. Last year they had the number 3 offense. This year they have the number 4 offense. Last 2 seasons they've been number 1 in the country in turnover percentage.
Yeah. So, and that's Illinois, like you said, Illinois had 18 turnovers, still won that game earlier in the season. Yeah. I don't think they're going to do that. I would assume they wouldn't do that.
The building is going to be rocking too.
Yeah. I hope so.
It's Trent DeMonte's last game there. Could be Kofi's last game there. Is it going to be? Oh, it's Plummer's last game there
Anderson.
because it's one season. Pretty much the entire starting lineup's last game there.
Yep.
So,
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
New era will begin, I guess. But there's an argument, definitely an argument that Illinois is worse than they were on December 6th and that Iowa's better. I think both are true.
Yep.
I think you can make an argument for Keegan Murray, Big Ten Player of the Year. I don't think he'll get it, but I think you can make an argument.
I think he deserves it.
I don't, but Who
do you think deserves it?
I would still give it
Jordan
to Kofi.
Davis?
I would still give it to Kofi. Call me biased. I don't give a shit. I hate Johnny Davis. He's a loser. Goodbye. But
I can't see the comments, so you're going to have to do that.
You could also make an argument for Fran McCaffrey, Big Ten Coach of the Year. He's not going to win it. It's going to be Greg Gard, but there's an argument to be made for Fran considering the turnaround from this year to last year. And, I think there's an argument there. Steve says Curbelo and Kofi will be tough on Iowa. I think that's true. Remember, he wasn't playing in the first game, right? So,
yeah.
I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You had the bench minutes in that game. Grandison was coming off the bench at that point. Grandison played 30 minutes off the bench in that game. Hawkins played 24. BBV played 9. Goody played 6. Payne played 1 in that game. So, yeah.
Sounds about right.
Curbelo does change them a little bit, and I think he will be good in this matchup. I think that's a good point to make. KenPom and Haslametric numbers, just to kind of compare what they have here. Adjusted offense, Illinois 18th on KenPom, 15th on Haslametrics. Iowa is 4th in both. Defensively, Illinois 32nd and 32nd on both. Iowa 74th on KenPom and 42nd on Haslametrics. So a big discrepancy there. Overall, Illinois 18th and 15th between the two, and Iowa 14th and 10th. So Haslametrics likes Iowa more, clearly. But I don't know. I mean, I kind of throw the numbers out for this game, to be honest, because I think a lot of the things that happen, sometimes you expect, like, for example, going into that game, I believe we talked a lot about how Illinois was going to turn the ball over a lot the first time that they played, and I think that happened. So, but I think you can throw a lot of it out. I think Kofi's going to be able to do a lot here. I don't think Iowa has the personnel that Penn State does to do what they did to Kofi defensively. And I'm not saying that, like, it's not like Penn State has the prototypical Coloco type that Kofi struggles with, but they have lengthy, bigger guards and forwards that can get in there. I don't think Iowa has that. I think Iowa's a much smaller team. So I think it's a big game for Kofi. I think if Kofi's getting it out, shooters are making shots, they'll be fine. I'm not too worried about it.
I mean, I think coming off a cold game is going to help them, right?
Yeah, and I think Iowa coming in as hot as they are, it's hard to continue that. And they show that they've put teams away, but they don't always put teams away. They did let Michigan back into it a little bit last night. It's obviously easier to put a team away at home. Don't tell Illinois that, but predictions.
I sadly don't think we're sending the boys out with a win in their last game.
Oh, there's no way that happens, dude. They're winning this game 100%.
Illinois losing 79.
You think Trent Frazier's Trent and DeMonte are going to allow their regular season careers at Illinois to end with a loss to Iowa? There's no chance.
Just trying to be honest.
You're buying into the Iowa's so good hype because their offense. They're going to slow down here. Fran's going to get bent over by Brad once again. Illinois wins by 1. And if I'm wrong,
it's over by 1.
If I'm wrong, at least I believed in our guys. Okay.
Hey, that's fine. You can believe all you want. I'm just trying to be neutral.
In spots like these, I think I've been the better picker this year. The Michigan State games, nailed it. Just saying, in these spots, in the spots where we don't agree on the pick, I've been right more than wrong, I think. Because Michigan State twice, you picked them to lose both times. I picked them to win both times. Big spot.
Have you picked them to lose yet this year?
Are you kidding me? I picked them to lose to Rutgers at the rack. I think I picked that. I picked them to lose to Arizona.
2 games.
I picked them to lose to Purdue at Mackey, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, 3 games.
So, hey, I believe in our guys.
All right. Hey, non-important thing on Twitter. This at Evan Maya did a simulation for the brackets. He's got Illinois winning it all.
All right, we're back.
Beating Gonzaga, beating Kansas, beating Villanova, and beating Kentucky.
That ain't gonna happen.
To win the title. So he also has St. Mary's over Baylor and San Francisco beating Arizona in the second round. So,
well, that simulation stinks. All right.
Interesting, though. Interesting.
That'll do it for us. Game on Sunday. Episode 106 will come some point next week before the Big Ten tournament game. Let's end the season with a bang. 15-5 in the Big Ten. I think they'll win.
Prove me wrong. I hope you
don't
I hope
think
they
that
all,
they'll win.
Hope they all listen to this and prove me wrong like they do every year.
Well, that'll
every game
probably will happen. So, all right. Well, that'll do it for us. We'll see you next week. And Illinois better win Sunday.